A major political and privacy controversy erupted in early December 2025 following a government directive to pre-install the Sanchar Saathi cybersecurity app on all smartphones manufactured or imported in India. The Department of Telecommunication issued this directive on November 28, 2025 under the Telecommunication Cybersecurity Amendment Rules, marking the first time India has mandated state-backed software on all mobile devices. This move has triggered insane debate between the government, opposition parties, technology companies, and privacy advocates. What is Sanchar Saathi? Sanchar Saathi, launched in January 2025, is a government initiative designed to combat cybercrime and telecom fraud. The app serves dual purpose: a mobile application and a web portal. According to government data, before the pre-installation mandate, the app had already demonstrated significant impact, helping recover over 7 lakh lost phones, blocking more than 3.7 million stolen devices, and terminating approximately 30 million fraudulent mobile connections. Key features of the app include: the Chakshu feature enables citizens to report suspected fraud communications, including impersonation scams involving government officials, banks, or police, as well as unsolicited spam communications. Users can report malicious web links and fraudulent content received through SMS, WhatsApp, Telegram, and other platforms. The app allows users to block and trace lost or stolen mobile devices using the phone's unique 15-digit IMEI code. Once blocked, the device becomes unusable across all networks, even if the SIM card is changed. Users can also verify how many mobile connections are registered in their name and check device genuineness by scanning the IMEI barcode to ensure they haven't purchased stolen or counterfeit devices. The government's directive. The Department of Telecommunication issued instructions requiring all smartphone manufacturers, including Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo, to pre-install Sanchar Saathi on all new handsets manufactured or imported within 90 days. Beginning November 28, for devices already in sales channels, manufacturers are encouraged to push the app through software updates. The original directive stated that the pre-installed application must be readily visible and accessible to users during device setup and that its functionalities cannot be disabled or restricted. Manufacturers failing to comply face official action. The government justifies the initiative by citing the prevalence of duplicate or spoofed IMEI numbers that pose serious cybersecurity threats and the problems created by India's large second-hand mobile device market, where stolen or blacklisted devices are sometimes resold to unsuspecting purchases. Government's justification and response. Minister of Communications Jyotiraditya Scindia has cited significant anti-fraud achievements, stating that cyber fraud worth 22,800 crore occurred in 2024. The Sanchar Saathi platform has prevented financial frauds amounting to 20,800 crore and contributed to disconnecting nearly 1.75 crore fraudulent mobile connections. Additionally, the app's data shows that approximately 20 lakh stolen phones have been traced, with around 7.5 lakh stolen phones handed over to their owners. Following opposition criticism, Scindia issued a clarification stating that the app is not mandatory for users to activate or retain. He emphasized that if you want to delete the app, you can. It is not mandatory. For instance, if you don't want to use the app, don't register for it. It will stay dormant. And delete it if you want to. He compared the pre-installation to other apps that come preloaded on phones such as Google Maps, which users can choose to delete. Scindia rejected allegations of surveillance, stating that the app contains no provisions for snooping or call monitoring. Opposition and civil society backlash. The opposition parties have mounted a sharp critique of the directive, Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra characterized the move as part of an authoritarian trend, stating, "This is a snooping app. It is ridiculous. Citizens have the right to privacy." She warned that there exists a very thin line between reporting fraud and watching every Indian's phone activities. Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi called the move another big boss surveillance moment and described it as a dystopian tool to monitor every Indian. Congress MP KC Venugopal declared the directive beyond unconstitutional and invoked Article 21 of the Constitution's right to privacy protection, stating, "A preloaded government app that cannot be uninstalled is a dystopian tool to monitor every movement, interaction, and decision of each citizen." Privacy advocates and legal experts have raised significant concerns. The Internet Freedom Foundation described the action as a sharp and deeply concerning expansion of executive control over personal digital devices, warning that this transforms every smartphone sold in India into a vehicle for government-mandated software that users cannot effectively refuse, control, or eliminate. Mishi Chaudhary, a technology lawyer and online civil liberties activist, argues that there is no statutory basis for such a requirement, and that merely through an executive order the state wants to enter our phones and lives, failing the necessity and proportionality argument. Clause 7b controversy. A critical point of contention involves Clause 7b of the original directive, which explicitly requires manufacturers to ensure the app is readily visible and that its functionalities are not disabled or restricted. This clause led opposition politicians to contest the government's later claim that users can simply delete the app. On December 2, Chaturvedi challenged Scindia's clarification, pointing to the directive's text. "I will request the Telecom Minister of India to read the notification before calling it an unnecessary controversy. Read page 2.7b. It is clearly written in it that the app's functionality is neither disabled nor restricted." A smartphone manufacturer's response. Apple is planning to challenge the government's directive, citing privacy and security concerns. According to Reuters, Apple does not plan to comply with the mandate and will convey its concerns to New Delhi. Apple has historically refused similar requests from governments and has no precedent of preloading state-owned applications on its device globally. Google, which controls Android, the operating system powering most phones in India, is evaluating how to respond. Industry sources indicate that implementing the government's order would require Google to create a custom version of Android specifically for India, which the company finds unacceptable. Samsung is currently reviewing the government order but has not made a final decision. Executives have flagged higher compliance-related costs that could be passed on to consumers. One industry executive stated that a legal challenge is not out of the question if private discussions with the government to overturn the directive prove unsuccessful. Constitutional and legal concerns. Legal experts have raised proportionality arguments, noting that the government already possesses less intrusive means to verify IMEIs, such as web portals, SMS-based Know Your Mobile services, and USSD codes. Ramanjeet Singh Chima from Access Now warned that a government-mandated app creates a single point of failure and could become a source of vulnerability to hackers. A petition seeking judicial intervention has been filed, citing infringement of the right to privacy under Article 21 of the Constitution and lack of legislative foundation. The petition argues that the directive stems from executive order within delegated legislation rather than being a law enacted by Parliament, and that the ambiguous reference to telecom cybersecurity permits indefinite broadening of the app's capabilities. A legal challenge on constitutional grounds appears likely as discussions between the government and manufacturers continue. Public response and downloads. Following the controversy and the government's clarification, the app experienced a significant surge in downloads. According to DOT sources, downloads jumped 10 times, from 60,000 to 6 lakh in a single day after the order was issued, with 1.5 crore people having already downloaded the app even before the order was formally announced.